The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. To return, here's Agnew. This taken in right around the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air. They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Lawrence to throw. That is caught. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff to Bigsby. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 more there and another first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now a 2nd and 10. Lawrence. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 34-yard line. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Back to the ground with ETN. Fights loose. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On first down, right back to ETN. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with a tackle.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
2nd and 5. From the shotgun, Lawrence. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Lawrence. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
So Lawrence will exit, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Jaguar field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. The kick by McManus is good, and that will close the gap down to 14. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. And he'll start with a give to Kamara. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
They've been running it well all game, and why not? The big guys up front, they're just having a ball creating monster holes for their guys to run through.
2nd and a couple. They run it again with Kamara. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
3rd down and 1. Carr now to throw. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Now ETN to start the drive. Brian Brzee, the man to bring him down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Now 2nd and 5. Slot man moves right. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And that will come the offense as they take over. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And this is incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Thomas goes in motion left. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line.
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
Yeah, looked good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. They swallowed him up. Here's 3rd and 7. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
Like my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
Carr now on first down, and his pass incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Carr. And that's going to be incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw is Carr. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. This from 42 yards out. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Jaguars getting set to go. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10. at their own 27. They'll look to ETN to start things out. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. They work now on 2nd and 9. On play action, Lawrence. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking downfield for Jones. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here's Logan Cook now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Chris Olave heads back to the field as his guys get set for another possession. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 31, here's a 2nd and 8. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all, they have to like with it.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Trayvon Walker, his 2nd sack of the night.
An assortment of sacks in this game. This one the product of a good jump and terrific effort. Moves quickly off the snap of the ball. Doesn't let up until he's in the backfield and impacting the quarterback.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive.
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half. And down 3 scores, a lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. They didn't like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Throwing now is Carr. Targeting Thomas on the out route, making the catch. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
A give. This is Kamara. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
2nd and 6. In motion right, Olave. And they'll fake the jet sweep there and instead hand it Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. On play action, it's Carr. And he'll find Moreau here. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. Now Carr. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
On first down, Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans. Rolling along here in the third quarter. 2nd and 10. Carr going to throw. He gets this one to Johnson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 42. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
Kamara there with a first down carry, but not much running room. And he takes it forward for only a couple. It's 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Another big play right there. And this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead. For those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach. And that's a strong step towards getting it done.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Kamara trying again. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. Kamara. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Defense keeps him out of the end zone there. Now, will they go for it? And if so, can they do it one more time?
Yeah, I just don't know if it's worth it going for it, because what we've seen from the defense so far, every gap is taken care of. Everyone is sound in their coverage. No one is breaking free, and those ball carriers are getting tagged. If I were them, I'd think very hard about just taking 3 points and taking their dignity and moving on.
And the ball's at the 2, spotted at the 2, so a pretty good chunk to go. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal. Here we go with Kamara. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. Alvin Kamara taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Saints' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So 4th and goal, their head coach gave that offensive line one more chance to punch it in, and this time they were successful.
They certainly paid off the coach's confidence, didn't they? And how about the fact that they stayed with the ground game? Because a lot of times in that situation, partner, we see teams try and roll the quarterback out, give him a little run-pass option, and treat it like a 2-point conversion play. In this case, they went with a little bit more power and got it done.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On 2nd down, here's Lawrence. And that throw behind his man. He missed him, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Lawrence will throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Jaguars first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again here, it's Lawrence. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Lawrence on 3rd down. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Here we go. Gotta have it. Lawrence. Out route. He finds his man. It's Jones. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
See how they respond now. Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the 1st. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. And they'll throw on 1st down with Lawrence. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Screenplay, here's Etienne. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Lawrence going to throw again. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 32-yard line. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down.
And he will find Ridley. That's complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Ball on the 27. Here's second down and 5. Straight ahead, Etienne.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. They'll try the jet sweep with Kirk.
And that one never got off the ground. He's going to be stopped up well behind the line of scrimmage.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And now third down and 6 to go.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That was third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up fourth.
And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence.
And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Jags come up empty on fourth down. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Carr going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10.
At their own 15. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
This is 2nd and 8.
Again, it's Kamara. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
2 yards still to go. Third down now.
Throwing now is Carr.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Kamara up the middle. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Second down, and it's Kamara again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10. At their own 17-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted. Picked off by Alontae Taylor.
And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Another solid game-changing play for this defense with the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, you know, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Now a 2nd and 6.
They run it again with Kamara. Ooh, the juke. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 17 there and a New Orleans 1st down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up, and what's been so far a tough game for them.
Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but They'll take the 3, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. This taken in at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And now out come the Jags. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. He targets Ingram for another grab. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards.
And that's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
Now Lawrence on 1st down. And his throw here's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
2nd and 10. Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to ETN. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 25-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now Lawrence. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air and defensively. They were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Here's Lawrence to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He put it on the carpet, a fumble. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure.
The previous play is under review.
And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down.
And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.